Welcome back to CCFC, the Kieran Carlin football channel or football club. Who knows? It's ambiguous on purpose. Today on the Premier League predictions, we have one of the best people to exist on planet Earth, in my opinion. It's Mr. Sonny Snelling.
Yay! Hello, Mr. Carlin. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We obviously have five-a-side tonight, but more worryingly, next week we haven't got half a squad. So who knows what's going to happen then? But you know, that's next week.
That is an issue. Me and Zach are swanning off on holiday. Okay, the first game of the weekend is Fulham Chelsea. What have you gone for?
The thing is, obviously, we're just recording this after Tuchel's been sacked. I don't know if they're going to have Potter in or whatever, but I'm going to go for 2-1 Chelsea because they'll have.
Okay.
I think they'll have some sort of bounce. I watched, obviously, Tottenham, my team, played Fulham last week. They weren't great, so I think against the top sides, Fulham are going to struggle. So yeah, I'll go 2-1 Chelsea. I think Havertz will probably score again.
I've also gone 2-1. Well, I've gone for Mitro's team. I've gone for Fulham.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm bottom of the Super League, I believe, but you know, to get out of that, I can't be doing the same as everyone else. I've got to take some more risks. This is like someone who's got a gambling problem.
You have, yeah.
I think Fulham at home. They haven't done any. It'd probably actually be a draw now that I think about it, but I can't see a new manager bounce from Chelsea. Even
in the big West London derby, the biggest fixture in football.
The spoils will go to Fulham for once.
Wow, that's a big shout.
Controversial. I probably would not put that on an acca though. The second game, Bournemouth-Brighton. What have you gone for?
This is awkward because what is going to happen with Potter? I mean, I don't even know. Like, apparently he's now going to leave, and I'm very upset about that because I really like Brighton. But you know, and obviously Bournemouth as well got Gary O'Neill, famous for being at West Ham, I think. So I've gone for. I don't even know. He's just one of those generic.
NPC. He doesn't exist.
He's a regen. He's a regen. I've gone 2-0 Brighton because I think, you know, after they beat Leicester, who are woeful, I fancy Brighton to get another result if they have Potter or not. You know, I love Solly March. All week I've been saying how much I love Solly March. He'll probably go to Chelsea now and replace Cucurella.
I'm looking forward to Danny Welbeck going to Chelsea. That's what I'm looking forward. He can't do a team with a striker that scores more than 4 to 6 goals.
Well, that's good for Chelsea then, isn't it? Like, Chelsea can't
He's
score.
never had... Oh, that's true. That is what they do, isn't it? I've gone similar. I've gone 2-1 Brighton. But this was before Potter has been given permission to speak to Chelsea. So I'm a bit alarmed, but I've locked it in. And it probably will still be the right decision. I think 2-1. A Brighton win seems like the most likely thing there. Right, next. Leicester City versus Aston Villa. Who wants to get sacked first?
Oh, it's just so bad. Isn't it? I watched that. I just mentioned it. I watched that game. Leicester are horrific. I actually thought Rodgers would be the next to be sacked, but somehow it's Tuchel, and we live in that world. But Gerrard as well. I mean, he's not much better, is it? He
got some. He bided some time by having a good performance against us, but it's still not. He needs wins, and I'll say mine first. I've gone for a draw. That's not a bad shout. Which is bad for both of them. I'm going 1-1 draw, and I'm hoping they both get sacked as a result of not winning the game.
At full time, both owners come down and just do like a
Lord Sugar.
Both
fuming. That's the dream. That's what I've gone for.
They march to the centre circle at full time and just put on the guillotine straight away.
Sacrificed.
I've gone for 2-1 Villa. I think they'll just edge it because I do think they're just better because some of their individual players, like I think Bailey's good, Jacob Ramsey's not bad. I just think Leicester their back line. I mean, we said this the other day in a group chat. Johnny Evans is 49 and he's still like captain of that. I just, how have they gone out? I know they didn't have much money going into this transfer window for COVID-related reasons and stuff like that. But it's just, and they lost Schmeichel, Danny Ward, by the way. I think. This is not a diss to you, Kieran, because you're a great keeper for five-a-side, but you do a better job than him. And I know you're a bit smaller, but who cares?
Thank you.
But like, it's actually embarrassing, that setup at the moment.
Like, they're just rotting. Like something, Rodgers is gagging to be sacked.
Gagging.
So yeah, there's probably not a Leicester win. I don't see a Leicester win there because I don't think anyone there wants a Leicester win, including Leicester fans, including Rodgers, including just everyone. So Liverpool Wolves.
This is not tricky, but I think personally this is going to be the game where Liverpool bounce back a bit, because Wolves, they've not started great, but they're not scoring goals, and I think them going to Anfield,
as usual,
Liverpool at Anfield, that first 5 minutes of atmosphere is going to be incredible. So I think Wolves will be suppressed by that. So I've gone 3-0 Liverpool. I think Salah's finally going to turn up instead of being Poe Pala. So I fancy him too.
I wish that sort of analysis, that slight dig at clubs was on like Sky Sports. Just Paul Merson, just being like, yeah, well, after they stop singing after 5 minutes, it'd be a pretty terrifying atmosphere.
Loaded in memes of belly dancing Salah. And it's
just any lookalike on TikTok. What score did you go for?
I went for 3-0 Liverpool.
Oh, we're on the same page. I went for 3-0 as well. Beautiful. That means that result won't come in then. Southampton, Brentford.
These teams are similar, aren't they? I know they play in white and red, but they're like, one week they'll go and beat a team by a mad scoreline and they're like, wow. And then they'll lose and you're like, oh, well, it's just Southampton, it's just Brentford.
Yeah, very great in some games. Just equally inconsistent.
They just confuse me. They're the team on Super Brew where I'm like, you could put any old shit and it would it could come in, it could be like a million.
Yeah, and then
miles
once
away.
it happens, you're like, well, now that feels obvious.
Yeah, so, but I've just gone 1-0 Southampton. I think them at home, I fancy them at home. Lavia might be a miss. I really like him. The fact that Chelsea were willing to pay 50 million for him was funny. And I think Brentford are just that weird. I know they beat Leeds 5-2, but as I was just making the point, I just feel like they'll drop off this week. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're both probably better at home, so I don't know why I've gone for 2-1 Brentford. But it went against all inner feeling, all logic, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for Brentford. Not sure how I actually feel about that one. I feel like you've convinced me. I should have gone to Southampton, but I've locked it in early.
I know, I've locked it in as well.
It is what it is.
It's not good, is it? I was locking him in going, I'm just doing this for content now. There's no like, I'm just getting scared.
Right. The big one. My club versus your club. Manchester City at home to Tottenham Hotspur. What have you done?
Well, I mentioned it briefly before we started recording. As I made my selection on Super Brew, it said, and I've screenshotted this so you can use this in the edit. Are you sure? Lot to see other players picked before kickoff. You're picking quite an upset. You can't change your pick. All in capitals. It's like a threat, isn't it? But I went for 2-1. I was a bit scared that the Super Brew gods would come down on me there. But I've gone for 2-1 Tottenham because, as we know, Mr. Carlin, every time we seem to play you, and we always seem to watch it together, you have a million chances and you can't seem to put them away. But in the back of my head, Haaland is going to now make up for that.
The big man.
That scares me. But I'm still backing my team because I fancy Son to finally turn up this season.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, I've gone for the same scoreline, but in favour of us. But I did that being like, I know it's going to be 2-1 Tottenham. Or 2-0 Tottenham. But I just can't not put City winning.
Yeah. I'm like Lorison.
Yeah, because it's like, well, we'll win like 95% of the games. So I might as well just put us to win every game and then it'll do all right by the end of it. But no, I'm hoping our defence is dodgy at the moment. A lot of injuries. Conceding a lot lately. Conceding first
you are.
as well.
That's what I'm actually surprised that's happening. Like, it's not really City-esque, is it? Losing leads as well.
I mean, if I'm being honest, Son's going to have 0 shots on target and then score 3 goals somehow. It's going to really fuck me off. But yeah, I've gone 2 on City, but in reality, it's 2 on Tottenham. Arsenal, Everton.
Don't, honestly. I know Arsenal lost.
The Mikel Arteta derby.
I know. Oh, yeah. I forgot. He's more of an Everton legend than he is an Arsenal legend. So technically, he should be Everton manager. But, football works in mysterious ways. Arsenal annoy me at the moment because I hate them anyway, as you know, Kieran. But they're good. They're good now. I mean, even against United, they were good.
People in that game were like, I know they lost or whatever. But, I mean, up until like the 65th, 70th minute, you're like, oh, okay, they're actually competing well. So I don't, just because they lost that game.
They play like you. That's the thing.
Much.
Arteta was at you for ages, and they play that. I mean, the way Zinchenko is in that midfield, he's just like a Cancelo, isn't he? So I can just imagine they're going to put many teams to the sword of a lesser level, like Everton, which they were struggling to do that, weren't they? Like last season, hence why they bottled top 4. But I think they're going to beat Everton 2-0 because Everton are crap.
Sensible decision. I've gone for the exact same scoreline, 2-0 to Arsenal. I think Everton have actually only lost like one game, but they've just drawn all the rest. And I just can't see Arsenal are just winning the games against the shitter teams or the rest of the pack a lot more often than they were last season. So I feel like there'll be a lot of 2-0 Arsenals this weekend. I think that's probably the most obvious scoreline. Right, West Ham, Newcastle, a struggling West Ham. And a Newcastle team that have actually only won like one game.
Yeah, they've been weird. Go on, you go first on this one. I want to hear what you've put.
I've gone for a draw. Gone for 1-1.
I've also gone for a draw, but I've gone for the Desmond 2-2. I just fancy like this to be the entertaining game of the Sunday. I just don't know why. There's always that sort of fun game where you end up going like, oh, I'm not going to watch that one, and then it ends up being the better game than the one you end up watching, and you're like, great, I shouldn't have gone out for breakfast with the missus or something. But I don't know. West Ham, I think, are due a couple like, they're not getting goals at the moment too much. But I fancy like Cornet or someone to be really good for them, and Antonio or Scamacca. And Newcastle, yeah, they're weird. I mean, Isaac looks good, really good, although his version of the gimme gimme chant is not as good as Kulusevski's, I'm sorry to say. But yeah,
it's just like, oh, he's a striker and he plays in attack. You're like, well, yeah, you give me the same information twice.
His first name's Alexander and his name is it all right? Well, yeah, we get it. Like, oh, it's just Paul.
It's like reading like the first line of a Wikipedia page.
That's what Amir Khan did he? Amir Khan did a tweet about Sir Alex Ferguson, and he used to manage Manchester United between 1980 and it's like, great.
He's just getting to the word count. Right, the next game, Crystal Palace, Manchester United at Selhurst Park.
Oh, I love Palace because I've got a few mates who are Palace fans, who you know, and I've been there a few times as well. Really good atmosphere, Selhurst Park. I've gone for 1-0 to the Eagles because I fancy Man United are going to get, like, it's flipped on its head, isn't it? Like, they're really good now, they're under Ten Hag, but I think they're now due, like they've played these harder games and done well. I think now they're due a little upset, and I fancy Zaha to maybe turn it on against his old club. So yeah, I've gone for 1-0.
They're still very much got that thing. I feel like they had it with Van Gaal as well. It was like the games where they need to win to either have the manager keep his job or maybe get like 5th or something. When it really push comes to shove, they'll get those ones, and then they'll level out, and then they get a little reducer to just a little knock for them all to go, maybe calm down a bit. However, I have gone for a 2-1 Manchester United win. I've gone against what I wanted to put, and I just thought, you know what, everyone thinks United are going to win this game, and I keep putting stupid results. So I keep putting United to lose, to be fair, and now I put them to win, they will probably lose. And you know what, I'll take the L on that one. I'd rather they lose and me get this wrong. If I put every week that United are going to win and they lose, I will happily go.
I get that with predictions. There's sometimes where you're like, oh, do I want Arsenal to make it 2-1, or would I rather see them suffer? And it is the latter. So,
but at least I've covered. Unless there's a draw, I've covered all. Well, I'm fine with a draw actually, because that's still funny to me. You know, if United win, I'm all good on Super Brew. If United lose or draw, that's funny personally for me.
Yeah, the weekend's complete either way. That's the thing. So
yeah. That's the second result. I live off United not winning. It's my favourite thing. It's like, oh, cool, we won. Nice. What did United do? They lost. Oh, fucking what an evening.
That's the thing. It is weird how I feel more motivated by Chelsea, West Ham, Arsenal doing crap, and then like Tottenham blitzing everyone else. Like there's the weekends, the weekends where they're very rare, but your team win and the others all bugger up, and you're like, that's fantastic. There's nothing better than that.
It's good. Even if you lose, if they also lose, you're like, ah! The final game, the Monday game, Leeds United versus Nottingham Forest.
This is exciting.
At Elland Road.
This is like a game from the 80s. It's all going to kick off. The crowd are just going to do a madness. I probably won't repeat what they're going to do, but you never know. But I fancy...
Oh God, yeah, not the 80s.
But I fancy...
Perms or racism, what's going to happen?
Both. Racism towards perms. I fancy Leeds with this one because I think they're at home. Forest as well. I'm still tipping them to maybe go down because I think it's going to click too late. Like, I've never known.
It's a hard one.
How many players is it now? Is it now? It's done, but 19, 20.
I generally think it's like 20. I think it's like 24.
It's just like that's not going to work. We struggled to like have 7 players after Gareth Bale, so I don't know how 20 is going to work.
Imagine if you had a summer and you shifted 7 or 8 players and got 7 or 8 new ones in, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, like I got to learn the whole squad again. Let alone, like, that's just a new team. It's a whole new team. Yeah. What was the score you went for?
I fancy 2-1 to Leeds. I think the home advantage is good. Again, Leeds are like going to be in that Southampton, Brentford realm of who bloody knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, the 14th to 16th.
It's a kamikaze. It's just like you could put any old score and you'd be like, oh, why did you put that? Oh, that was class. And it's just like, oh, I don't know.
I've gone 2-1 Leeds United.
Oh, 3. Is that 3 results with?
I think that might be 3 of the same results. So I mean, that's a lot of similar results to the guy who's bottom. So
yes, that is worrying,
alarming for you.
Yeah.
But then for me, that's a lot of results to someone who's doing all right.
I'm okay. I'm only doing better than the Loro Sutton hybrid. I think I'm only a couple of points. That's so out of context as well, by the way. That sounds like we've done a science experiment and merged the two. But yeah.
So to people watching, what's happened is in our super group, we decided to add one extra prediction player, and we just enter the results on alternate weeks of all the Mark Lawrence and Paddy Power guesses and all the Chris Sutton BBC predictions. So, and I believe the weird hybrid is doing quite well at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing better than Sky Sports Cheese himself, Joe Tomlinson. So, if that's the barrier.
That is bad, and he has TV ball knowledge.
I know. And TikTok ball knowledge. He should be doing better, but he's a disgrace.
Oh, TikTok famous. What a guy. Right, well, thank you for coming on. Those have been the predictions.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to listen to Talk Sport? You might hear Sonny.
Yes, I occasionally talk absolute waffle and it seems to go down well. Or I'm on TikTok as well. That's my main thing, isn't it, at the moment? But go and follow me on there.
Yeah, follow Sonny on TikTok. If you see any video of Gabby Agbonlahor saying something mental on TikTok, Sonny's the guy on the other side of the camera talking to him. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.